Okay guys, thanks so much for joining us. Today we are doing a test of an iron that we've never tested before, but a concept we have tested before.
Correct.
We're going to take a dive into the Sterling one length irons. So I think probably not a company, being fair, that many people will be all that familiar with.
Yeah, it's I don't know. You want to call it off-brand, but it's not one of the major manufacturers. I think of the smaller companies, I do see a lot of comments on the YouTube channel asking about Tom Wishon clubs and Sterling irons.
Absolutely.
So it's definitely known, but it's not Callaway, obviously. So
exactly. Yeah, it's not a major OEM that's sort of marketing heavily.
Right.
You know, the one thing we'll kind of tip our hat to Jacob Bowden, the founder of Sterling, is they've built a really attractive sort of direct-to-consumer model where you can go straight on the website and sort of build your clubs based on spec and all that sort of stuff. And there's a really great little custom portal. So. You know, kudos to Jacob and the guys at Sterling for doing that. So,
for sure.
As always, thank you to the guys at Sterling for sending these out. We really appreciate it. The opportunity to test a one-length set of irons that can be truly customized. You know, so when we say that, the one thing that we felt was missing when we tested Cobra one length last time was the ability to adjust the loft and lies when necessary.
Yeah, you want to be able to. I mean, this is a fitting video. You want to make these work. So if you need to bend them 3 degrees for loft, you need to be able to do that.
You need to be able to do something. So the delivery dynamics, although we're dealing with the same length club, the same weight club, we've talked a little bit about this in the past. At times, the objective being a little bit different can promote you to make a slightly different move at it. And it can, and, you know, we have seen that before with the one length sort of you know, technology. So today we are going to fit Matty to, or we're going to see how well we can fit you into a one length set.
Yeah, how to make them work.
We'll fully utilize the loft and lie machine. You know, we'll take advantage of the sort of lack of variables that one length sort of introduces.
For sure.
And let's see how good this set can be for you.
I think that's great, yeah.
Okay.
So we'll start with the pitching wedge.
Start with the pitching wedge.
Treat it kind of like a gapping session is what you mentioned. And then I guess we see what adjustments are needed as you go along.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So standard number for you in the wedge, Matty, just every day of the week is what, about?
Yeah, 140 or so. Yep, should be good.
140 be good. Good opener. So kind of, as you're hitting away here, Matty, let's chat a little bit about nice opener, about the way Sterling have built these. They've done it differently.
Yeah.
They've engineered the short irons differently from the long irons. They've sort of built in the characteristics of the head which you would need in a long iron, which is ball speed, lower CG, a little bit more offset, all the things that promote a slightly higher ball flight. That's the problem that some people have had with one length, is when you get down to those long irons, you start to struggle separating the gaps.
So were people hitting them too low?
They would find they would go too low, and therefore, because they don't have the ability to create additional leverage through the length of the golf club, that they would start to then, you know, the distances, maybe the 6, 5, and 4 might start to bunch up a little bit. So with the way Wishon is engineered these irons, so they call it high core technology, obviously trying to increase the ball speed on those longer irons. So as this plays out, we'll see how that goes.
How it works.
The short irons are a softer carbon steel, 8620, which is quite commonly used on some of the softer metals. Probably feels, I would imagine, quite nice.
Felt quite nice that first strike. Absolutely.
Sounded nice. Sounded soft, and that's what's going to give us the ability to bend these today really easily. The Cobras, with the best will in the world, were really firm last time.
It's a cast
and
golf club.
we could hear it. I mean, remember how far you were hitting some of those long irons at times?
Very clicky,
It was really long. So
okay, cool.
We'll see. Set a few more. Attaboy.
It's good too. Actually, I think that flew the exact same distance.
It was literally the exact same yardage.
No, we did not press replay.
Do we need to redo your fit mat for an iron video?
I think I would be very popular if we told everyone I was going to play one length irons.
Well, the question I want to know is, if this turned out to be as good a set as you've ever, would you entertain it?
Would definitely entertain it. Yeah, you know me. I mean, I don't tinker that much. Aside, I mean, it sounds stupid. Obviously, I tinker for the purposes of the videos, but when I actually, for my own set, I'm always open to other stuff. But I'm probably a little more skeptical in that I know what is my fault, like my swing fault, and what is, you know, an equipment that would kind of help me. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm biased towards it being no good. That's for sure. I'd be open to it. It would just be odd. It would just be a very odd adjustment. I mean, played whatever 13 years of golf with normal clubs. It'd be a bit of an adjustment. That's for sure.
Yep.
Okay, I pulled that one a little bit. You want one more?
Yeah.
That's better.
That looked much more like the shot 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 4 are perfect.
Okay, so we do. To be honest, we do this in every gapping session, Matty. We take the best 3 from 5. We're 3 there.
So you usually get 3 good ones out of the
3
selection.
good ones is, you know, good contact, good consistency to launch and spin and speed. You know, to the point where we can establish after 3 really solid shots, that's about what it does.
That's the number.
Yeah, we're happy with it.
Gotcha.
Okay, so let's move on to the next guy. 9-iron Matty. So that pitch and wedge was 45 degrees aloft, 63 lie, 1 flat. You normally play yours 2 flat, but that looked okay. You were still
fine,
staying over on the left side.
Yeah.
The shaft that comes in it, Matty, is it's a Wish-On product. It's called stepless.
Yeah, S25 stepless.
S25 stepless, and it is a 115 grams stiff.
Felt quite nice.
Not too bad.
It's the first time I've tried them. Okay, so this 9-iron, what do you what should we expect?
I mean, I've popped you in at 153. I'm expecting about a 13 degree gap between the wedge and the 9.
Okay.
It might go a little more, maybe 155.
That's hit well. I don't think I stepped on that. I think, so that's about 157.
Okay.
I think that should be the one right in the middle.
That was nice as well.
Yeah.
Around that 155 number again.
Good.
Good.
Yeah, feeling good so far.
Yeah, sound good. They really sound nice.
Yeah, there's nothing it's not like you're going to pick these up and they feel, different than what you'd be expecting from, a Titleist or something like that. Feel quite nice.
Mm-hmm. So, carry numbers, which is the one we are interested in, 142, 156. Great. Really nice.
You're okay with that gap
100%.
So far? Yep.
No problem. Okay, so 142, 156, so no brainer. Takes us to 170 on the 8.
Okay. That's good.
Good swing there, Matty. I mean, just while we're doing this, what value do you think a gapping session has for the average golfer? Even just going through this process and knowing how far your club's carry and being able to sort of make these adjustments and figure all your stuff out.
It's got to be a
value,
massive value to literally anyone. There's
Yeah.
nothing worse than hitting what you think is a really good shot and it going a yardage that you didn't expect.
Yeah.
And whether that's short or long, I think most people probably overestimate, but there's plenty of people that don't quite understand that when they really hit a flush 9-iron, it's going to fly this far.
I know.
So I think for hitting, the value of hitting greens, probably shooting good scores, you've got to know exactly how far it's flying. It's a really good process.
Really good value, yeah. I mean, certain elements of course management where you can take a hazard out of play or
layups.
Knowing what you've got and if you've got a ridge you need to carry or something like that, it's just high value where your course management can often be worth several strokes around just by navigating your way around the course.
I think it's a must do.
Yeah.
You absolutely have to do it for sure.
I agree.
That's good too.
Similar to the last one. Now, this is where we start to sort of, get our thinking hat on a little bit here and go, okay, the clubs are only 1 degree flat. You normally play yours 2 flat.
Yep.
Is when you start to apply the kind of speed like you might at this point, is that going to make a difference? Maybe we have a sort of progressive lie angle change,
towards the longer irons, maybe flatter.
Maybe flatter, just knowing that, as you add some speed, you maybe turn them over a little bit more.
That's interesting.
That sort of thing.
Do you fit a fair amount of people for a progressive lie, whether it's more upright or more flat in the long irons?
Well, a sort of an old tour truck from TaylorMade, old tour trick from the TaylorMade truck was Certain players would have what we call tour lie angles.
Oh, okay.
So, I remember seeing sort of Retief Goosen's specs,
Yeah.
and his were 1 degree changes as they went down. So,
Really?
64, 63, 62, 61. So they weren't in half degree increments; they were in full degree increments.
Wow.
And I know there's some players out there. I mean, I remember seeing when Trotty posted Hao Tong Lee's specs on his irons, his were jumping all over the place. They didn't kind of fit an exact progression.
Really?
They were what they needed to be.
And those are some of the best players in the world.
Best players in the world, because at the end of the day, what the loft and lie is doesn't really matter. What the job the club does matters. That's the key bit.
Because they're doing this maybe every couple of weeks to make sure that they're hitting the right yardages.
Correct, that's it. And then they're having it checked and making sure that they're not, sort of in sort of a different spot, with their swing.
It's interesting.
So, more value to the gapping session, I think.
I think so.
Okay, hit one more and then I'm thinking I'm going to flatten this a little for you. Yeah, I mean, right on track. I mean, you've put those 3 golf balls in the exact same spot, so...
I think I made good swings, I think.
They sounded good.
Yeah, I don't think
They sounded good. And the danger of that shot for you is how long it went. I mean,
it's no good, is it?
No, it's an 8-iron, that's going out to 180-yard carry, and it's going out to a little bit more because it's low spin.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah, you're right.
Doesn't have much value.
So you would go ahead and flatten that right
I'll
away?
flatten that for you, pal.
Okay.
Okay, Matty, back in. So the Sterling irons are based off of this set we have, 37.5 inch standard length or single length. So that's 6-iron length in this case. The lie angle is at standard spec 63. We're playing this. You play your 37.5 inch golf club is 60, right?
So mine are flatter?
Yours are 2 flat. So theirs was 1 up.
Yeah.
Yours are 2 flat of what we call standard 62.
Okay.
Right. So there's a 3 degree difference.
Right.
Right.
So that would explain why maybe this 8 started going right.
Correct. I would expect to see this hug the left side of the line a little easier.
Probably regulate the yardage a bit too.
Yeah. If we're able to keep the face open for longer, it should take a bit of that yardage away. Attaboy.
Almost like you know what you're doing.
Beginner's luck.
Yeah, that was much more online, much more manageable.
One thing, Matty, that I'm definitely aware of here is these irons are not short.
No, they're not. Oh, like flying short?
Flying, in terms of how far they go,
Ball speed's there, isn't it?
Quick.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, my feedback is I don't feel like I'm stepping on these.
You're
That's
really
quite a bit of ball
smoothing
speed
these
for me.
out right now.
Yeah.
And that loft is actually a little bit on the weaker side. It's 37 degrees, so it's definitely not one of the kind of modern day strong lofts.
Right. A little more traditional then. That's good.
That's a nice swing. That's really nice. Yeah, I mean,
doesn't feel like it's going to go right anymore. It really doesn't. It's crazy though. 1 degree of lie makes quite a big difference. Okay.
So now, there's two 8-irons. There's a functional one and a non-functional one.
Yeah.
Right. So it never really changed the numbers too much. No. It wasn't so much. It was just directional. So that now fits in really nicely in line.
I think it protects against the one that goes way long though.
It does. Now we're starting to run into a little bit of a problem here with the distances and the gapping.
So I was about to ask you. To me, that spin number on the 8 looks low.
Yeah. And
I would wonder if, this should already be weakened a degree.
It should be weakened for sure. So we need to fit that in with that. So again, one of the reasons we wanted to do this video is because we can truly...
Yeah, we can make them work.
There's no reason that we can't get this set to be bang on. All we ask for you is solid contact, which you give us plenty of, and really we can make the rest happen.
So we're now a little bit flatter than originally, and we've got more loft than the last version.
Correct. So we're now at 38.5. Standard loft on these guys is actually a little bit stronger, and that's 35.
Okay.
So we're borderline as much as we can. Can move it without kind of compromising the bounce a little bit.
Gotcha. That's actually a little bit better. That looks more like a proper flight for an 8-iron. Oh! Because it hangs in the air a bit, whereas before it looked like it was kind of knuckling too much.
Yeah.
That's good too.
Yeah, tell you what, you're striking is
I
really
might have to
nice.
buy a set. That might go in. Ooh.
Jacob, we're calling you, pal.
Well, he's already sent them.
You're not getting them back, Jacob.
No postage.
So there, the spin spike is lovely.
That's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's taken us right into the spot where we wanted to be there. So we've got some nice progression.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Right on the number too.
Right on the number. So lovely apex, we're good, everything's kind of nicely controlled.
Love it.
Okay.
7-iron time?
7-iron time. Okay, Matty, so we're transitioning into the high COR heads.
Yeah, I noticed the badge is different now.
Badge is different, so CG's a little different, so starting to, you know, look for a slightly different ball flight. You'll probably feel a difference off the face with this one.
Jumpy, probably, a little more?
Maybe a little bit kind of hotter.
So you flattened it in keeping with what you did with the 8, which we know will make sense.
Right.
And you've also weakened some loft.
Weakened some loft off it to try
Knowing
and
that
kind
we
of
need to, right?
manipulate, obviously, how far we want this to go.
Okay, well, let's see how close we got. So you've got, we want it to go 186 in the air?
184 is the carry number on this
That's
one.
what we
Would be
want,
lovely.
okay.
Yeah, 184 to 186, anywhere in that window, Matty, would be nice.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think they sound a little bit different, feel
Yeah,
a little bit different.
They certainly don't sound clicky or anything like
No,
that.
it's
though.
not
I don't
like-
detect any of that from this.
Nothing offensive, like nothing that would be undesirable, but it's feels a little bit hotter. So that was close. That's better.
That's lovely.
Yeah, like acoustically, it's subtle, it's there, but it still feels really good. That's the right one.
Now, have you forgotten as you've been hitting here that you're playing a set of clubs that are all the same length?
100%. Yeah.
Gone from your
100%.
mind.
Yeah,
Not
I'm
even
really
thinking about it.
anymore.
Interesting.
It's not bugging me.
To be honest,
No.
I thought about it. I forgot about it until I literally just went, huh,
Yeah,
I wonder
I know.
how Matt's feeling with this
It's
one
not
length.
bugging me at all. Honestly, the pitching wedges all felt good. Short irons felt good. I won't speak to how maybe the long irons will start to make me uncomfortable, but no, so far honestly, but it's I've literally forgotten that I've got something a bit different in my hands.
Okay.
It's good too.
Yeah, those last two sounded great.
Yep. Like it.
Can't argue with any of those.
Yeah, you
certainly
can't.
those last three, eh?
Well, it's kind of like what you were saying. I mean, you asked someone, are you open to it? If you're open to it, I think, to be fair, it requires someone, with at least some percentage of what your knowledge is to do this properly.
I kind of feel like that as well.
Yeah,
that-
it's
that
not like,
there's-
you can go buy them off the rack and they'll probably,
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I think you need to do it properly with someone like yourself that knows what they're doing.
What you could probably do is go get them and take them to someone.
Yeah. Oh,
you know,
for sure
and,
you
and,
could.
have a retro sort of fit with them and that sort of thing.
I agree for sure.
But seeing how that progression works is okay. I
This
mean,
is good so far, isn't it?
yeah, and we're still retaining all that height, and we would expect to with the amount of speed you're having,
Yeah.
or you have. Sorry, quite good.
Yeah, no, that's very consistent so far, isn't it?
All right, Mr. Sterling, number 6, 6-iron, 2 bills.
We've weakened it in
Weaken it in
proportion.
line, so yeah, we're in 31 right
Yep.
now.
And it's a little bit flat.
Yep.
All right. So hoping this will fly right on 2 or just short of it.
Yep. That sounded great.
I really hate to admit that I'm hitting these 1,000 times better than my own irons.
And that's flowing right on the number. 198 on the fly.
I wasn't really expecting to hit really good shots, if I'm honest. I was a little worried about this test.
Is that right?
I kind of thought I would get to like 7, 6-iron and just start hitting them like crap.
Well, the opposite has happened. You're
Yeah.
flushing these. You're hitting them really, really nice. Who do you think these irons are for?
That's a good question. I think anyone under the right circumstance could give them a try.
Yeah,
However,
I would agree with that.
The right circumstance is not going to be easy to come across. So
Mm-hmm.
these were built as well as they could for me.
Yeah.
Then I've got you customizing every single one.
Mm-hmm.
We've got quad, we've got everything that goes with it. That's the environment that makes this, I guess, a perfect
Yeah.
situation to fit them.
Agreed.
But yeah, if you're confident in the person fitting you
Yeah.
and they're built properly, I don't see anyone that shouldn't try them.
So it's a really good way to do it,
Right?
isn't it?
Yeah.
I think for a lot of people who have, a lot of success in the middle of their bag, really like it, and like you say, varying skill levels. Don't think it has to be restricted
No, it doesn't have to
a
be.
skill level.
But
I think,
agree.
like I know, for example, 6-iron is my favourite club in the bag.
Is it? Yeah.
It's just it's the one I practice with all the time, and hit,
true.
when I take a lesson, I grab it at 6-iron.
Yeah, very
when
true.
I, hit demo clubs in here at a 6-iron. So for me, like this, I'd be very comfortable with a set of 6-iron length clubs. I would love to see how comfortable I am with wedges that are like that.
Yeah, it would be
That's always
different.
been my sort of struggle maybe with the concept. That I quite like a short wedge and hitting little partial swings and stuff. But who knows? I could get used to, I'm sure, gripping down a little bit, changing the length. Through a bit of trial and error.
So we always say performance speaks for itself. I mean, if it works, then it's worth a shot.
If your ball striking is a weakness and it's striking and being inconsistent is the reason for that, this really is one solution that you could look at.
I think I'm making better contact for sure.
I would 100% say that this is the cleanest full set test we've done.
I've hit one fat shot.
Yeah.
And we were talking beforehand and I wasn't paying attention.
I know.
Honestly, the rest of them were pretty good.
Pretty good.
Okay, so one more 6-iron.
Mm-hmm. Attaboy.
Yeah,
Nice,
pretty
Matty.
good. Pretty good.
Good job.
6-iron is approved.
All right, fully expecting this one to go 215.
Okay, so we have the 5-iron. It now is the first time the length felt a bit strange. It just looks and feels a bit short.
Okay.
Not crazy, but it feels like a short golf club now.
Is that relative to what you saw in the loft?
Yeah,
Or,
exactly.
Yeah,
I think as soon as the loft went from the 6, now this is a bit stronger. Now it kind of looks like a short 5-iron.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not bad though. I mean, it's.
What do you think about the offset in the club? Because that starts to progress and get a little bit more offset.
I see it, but it's not. I mean, to me, the ball flight is what I would look at anyway. I mean, I'm not hooking them all. I'm not, hitting poor shots that all duck right. So I think you'd get over it. If you're very particular about offset, you might not like it. But as I said, if you're open-minded, I think they could work fine.
Okay.
There we go.
Sounded nice and crispy.
Yeah. See how far that flies. That's the number.
How's that hit?
It's a groove low.
Yeah, groove low, but
It's fine.
more like it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset with that. Okay, that's as good as I can hit it.
That's a really nice one, Matty. Good job. Alrighty. I think mission accomplished.
Absolutely.
14 between those two, 13 between those, 13 back to 15, back to 15.
So really good yardage gap.
Nice gap in session. You can see all the progressions as we go here.
Spin, like the spin progressed, ball speed progressed,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. No, it worked out. It worked out quite well, and obviously where we had to go flatter at the 8 because we started to turn them over, but towards the end, the flatter started to really work quite well. So
I put some of it up to just me anyway. Like I think, especially that really last swing with the 5, I felt like I put a really good swing on it, and I think everything about it was perfect.
Yeah.
So I think it helped me be more consistent, but still, I mean, if you make a bad swing, it's not necessarily going to perform perfect, but that is about as consistently, I think, as I've gone through a set of irons in a while.
Really good. I think there's this huge validation here for the Sterling iron and kind of really what it offers. I think there's so much sort of good engineering went into the head. What each club is engineered individually to do. The long iron is designed with low CG, fast face, offset, all the things that create high speed and high launch and allow you to sort of gap those clubs out properly.
Absolutely.
So, I think people will be really encouraged by how easily you were able to stretch away the 5 from the 6.
For sure. No issues.
No issues at all. The one thing we probably did see a little bit of in that last one was we saw a drop of 13 feet in height.
Yeah, which is fair. And the very best strike with 5 was still a good 10 feet lower.
Yeah, it was 115 on the very best one. So, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're Matt Blois or a PGA Tour player. if you look on TrackMan PGA averages, the best players in the world have a dip in their longest iron in the bag.
Oh, do they? Okay. So it's common.
Almost
It
everyone.
is common. Okay, gotcha.
Unless you've made an adjustment by going to a hybrid at that point, so you've really changed the sort of engineering behind the club and you know what's going on at face depth and CG being further back, etc. If you look on those TrackMan charts, you'll actually see sort of about 32, 33 yards is the peak, which is about 96 to 99 feet.
Okay.
And then it drops to about 29 yards, so 87 feet. So there is a drop of about 10 feet, even for the best players in the world.
Gotcha.
Not uncommon at all. Yeah, fun test.
That was good. Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. I think you seem to be as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was excited to do it because I was excited to finally, you know, have a fit with someone, you know, with a set of one lens and actually, you know, get them to test it where we can bend them and have some fun and work through the yardages like we've done here. So I think it's a true validation for the technology in that it can be fully fitted out to be, you know, at the exact yardages people need.
As long as the construction of the club, not the face, but the body of the club, as long as it's a soft carbon steel, you were able to bend it like crazy.
Bend it, no problem at all. We had to bend them a little bit because, you know, we just didn't want you hitting them, you know, a million miles. We wanted to retain some spin.
And I think it worked out perfectly because we found, you know, the short iron yardages were good.
Yeah.
And then once we got to the 8, it was a little jumpy, adjusted it, and then I think the 8 became the new standard for the set, and then we built the longer irons off that.
Right.
And I mean, I can tell you my own irons aren't gapped that well, I'm sure. Like I could probably use a little session of that myself.
Yeah,
so.
it's true.
This was good. Hopefully this is what people were asking for after the Cobra one. I know it wasn't satisfying for everyone because it wasn't quite...
Us included, I would think.
Yeah, we didn't have the flexibility to do it properly. I think this was done properly.
Touching the price point.
So they're about, what do we calculate? About $800 for a 7-piece set, which is kind of your new standard.
USD.
US dollars, $800 for 7 pieces is very competitive.
Really good.
Most OEMs they got to be what, 1,100 or so,
something along the 1,000 to 12, something in that ballpark for a standard set. You know,
so
a little bit more.
They're very competitive on price. Obviously made of good materials, and clearly they can be fit properly. You just need to get, I think you just need to get yourself in the right situation with the right person, the right tools to do it this way. Yep, I would encourage people to give it a shot.
We would, certainly. Right. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Leave your comments. Let us know if there's any Sterling iron players out there.
Sure there are.
I'd love to hear how people are getting on with them. So let us know your feedback in the comments.
Please.
We'd love to hear it.
All right.
All right, excellent. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. We'll see you again soon.